At this point, we want our bird to start paying attention to the things it comes in contact with. For instance, when our bird comes in contact with the pipe or the ground, we don't want our bird to be able to fly anymore. So let's go ahead and close down these rules so that we can make some room for ourselves. And we're going to create two more rules which are actually very simple. So I'll click plus rule, and I'm going to type in the word collision. So when the bird overlaps and collides with a pipe, then in the do section, what I want to happen is I want our bird to change that attribute that we created earlier called bird hit. So change attribute, and we need to select that attribute. So I'll click on attributes, game, bird hit, and we want to switch that to the word yes. So very simple stuff. I basically said when the bird overlaps and collides with the pipe, then in the do section, change attribute bird hit to yes. You can see here by default we have it set to no. So I'm going to close that rule down, and I'm going to create another rule which is pretty much the exact same thing for the ground. So when there's a collision, so type in the word collision with the ground, then what I want to happen is for the attribute bird hit to again be changed to yes. So basically these two rules say when you overlap and collide with a pipe, change bird hit to yes, and when you overlap and collide with the ground, change bird hit to yes as well. So if we preview this, that doesn't do us a whole lot of good, because as my bird flies along and comes in contact with the pipe, let's say, nothing actually happens. We have actually changed that bird hit attribute from no to yes by coming in contact with the pipe, but we haven't figured out a way yet to get the bird to not be able to fly when that attribute does change from no to yes. So let's go ahead and take a moment to change that now. So click back to editor, and we can do this by getting back to our big button, which is our background actor. Again, we set this up earlier so that when we touch it, it affects whether our bird can fly or not. So you notice in this rule, we said when you press the background actor, then change attribute bird state to fly, or change it back to fall. But you notice under the word press here, we have this condition area. This is kind of another thing that we can add in that has to be true for everything else to take place. And the condition that we can add in is we can type in the word attribute, and we want to find that bird hit attribute. Double click on bird hit, and we'll switch this to is no. So basically you just want to read things out loud so you understand the language, which is actually very simple. So basically we're saying when you press the background and the bird hit is no, then you're allowed to change the bird state to fly. Otherwise change it back to fall. So now this no here means that this area here can only happen if bird hit is set to no. If this is set to anything else but no, then these other attributes can't happen anymore. And that's what this condition does. It basically says this has to be true for the rest of this to happen. And if this isn't true, I'm not going to let any of this happen. So let's test that out. So we can fly by clicking on our background, and we can go up and down, and I'm going to avoid this first pipe. Not very successfully, so let me try that over again. It's going to try to avoid that first pipe and not come in contact with the ground. And then the second pipe I'm going to come in contact with, and then right away my bird falls. So it's working perfectly. This condition says that you can do all of this as long as we're set to no. But the minute this is set to anything else, then you're not allowed to do any of these things anymore, which gets our bird to fall.